perfect. I've recently been making this protein coffee and it's become a staple of mine. It has 18 grams of protein, 0 added sugar, but literally tastes like a vanilla latte from a coffee shop. No exaggeration. You guys need to know about this recipe. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance. On my channel, I share the science-backed and delicious information to help you achieve your weight loss and wellness dreams without counting calories. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Okay, so I do have a blog post with the full recipe linked down description below if you want like a printable version of it. But there is a very specific order in which this coffee needs to be made in order to make it just like perfect. And first, we need to make the espresso. Now, super coffee fanatics are probably going to be really annoyed at how I make my coffee, but it works for me and it's really easy. I first start off with coffee beans. Now, technically, it's about 15 to 18 grams of coffee beans. I use 2 of these little scoopers of mine because I don't usually actually measure that specifically. Wow, so my little scooper is literally exactly 18 grams when using 2. But for those who do want to measure, it's about like 18 grams. And then I grind it up with my very basic, very old coffee/herb grinder, and I pulse it until it's like a powder similar to table salt. This is the rough grind you want to look for when you're making espresso because it is going to be a lot stronger. So you want the grind to be smaller than like if you're to make just typical French press coffee. Now I do use an espresso machine or like a latte maker. I've had this same Breville machine for 10 years now. It's worked great. I'll also have that link down description below if you want to see the one that I use. If you like to make espresso or lattes at home, highly recommend making the investment. It'll pay for itself within like a couple months depending on how often you make lattes. And I love it because I do have control over the type of beans I'm using. So I only use purity coffee. I've been using it forever because it's mold free. It's optimized for antioxidants. I don't get those like anxious jitters that I do with other coffees. But regardless of the way that you're going to make espresso, you just use whatever machine or option you have on hand. You can technically even make espresso or something similar to espresso with a French press, or you could just brew like really, really strong coffee. Whatever it is, you just want about 3 ounces worth of espresso or like really strong coffee. Next up is the milk portion. This is also where the order of operations really matters, so make sure you pay attention to the details. Otherwise, you could result in clumpy protein coffee, which nobody likes. Okay, you first start off by heating 1 cup of whole milk over a medium-low temperature. I only use whole milk because it is rich in vitamin K2 as well as calcium. And when you use low-fat milk, it has substantially less vitamin K2, which is needed for heart health and bone health and dental health. Plus, whole milk has been found to be inversely associated with obesity, which means that those who have whole milk are less likely to be obese than those who have low-fat milk. Probably because it's so much more satisfying and it just tastes so much better. You could use like an almond milk or coconut milk if you are plant-based, but it's going to be a lot lower in protein and it's not going to be as creamy, but those are options that you could use if you aren't able to use whole milk. Okay, so I'm just heating it up until it's the exact temperature that I want for my coffee. You do not want to boil milk. Absolutely make sure you avoid this because when you boil it, it can make the milk have that like curdly texture. It'll also make it so that the protein powder added in will curdle. So you do not want it to get excessively hot. Just the temperature that you actually want your coffee to be at. I like to check the temperature just like putting my finger in there, because if it's too hot for my finger, then it's probably going to be too hot for protein powder. Once done, I then turn off the stovetop and then I add in my protein powder. I'm using 1 scoop of my vanilla protein powder. It's 0 added sugar. I specifically developed it to taste amazing in recipes just like this. And it blends so easily. It dissolves so well. So it just overall provides a tasty, high protein, delicious, healthy experience. If you guys wanna grab my protein powder, I'll have it pop up right here. But I'll also have it linked down in the description below if you guys wanna check it out. Okay, and then I like to use a milk frother for this. I actually got this one from Mudwater, but really any milk frother will do. And these can be pretty inexpensive too, definitely worth the investment because it does like so seamlessly blend in the protein while also making sure you get like a little bit of that froth that you want from something like a latte. Now, one pro tip, when you do go to heat up the milk, make sure it's in a smaller pan because when you go to actually froth the milk, it'll make it so that it doesn't explode everywhere. If the milk is too thin in the pan, then it will explode everywhere. Just a pro tip from experience. The last part is very simple. You just add in the espresso into whatever cup you're using. If it's not already added in there, then you pour the protein milk into the mug and it's done. My favorite part, the taste test. It's like being able to go to a coffee shop and have a vanilla latte without the 30 grams of added sugar. So good. The hard part is not just like chugging this all in one sitting. In fact, my mom is in town helping with Sage and Jack, so I'm gonna have her have the rest of this and give her a little taste test too. Mom, here you go.
Thank you. Ooh, that's really good.
Now, there is a best time to have this, especially if you are working toward a weight loss or wellness goal. Make sure that you are not just having this as a meal. Even though it has 18 grams of protein, that is not enough for most people to actually provide enough to support a weight loss or wellness or a health goal. But it does help to massively contribute. So you can pair it with something like my high protein overnight oats, some scrambled eggs, whatever you want. Just make sure that you're pairing it with another high protein breakfast option. Which leads me to the second thing. If you're using intermittent fasting, this will break a fast. So just eat it during your eating window, not during your fasting period. And then if you do want to enjoy this as like an afternoon latte, which I have done in the past and it is quite nice to do, just make sure you're using decaf, especially to support a weight loss or wellness goal. Any amount of caffeine in the afternoon can really disrupt your sleep quality, and having high quality sleep is very important for preventing hunger, for preventing high cortisol spikes, and for preventing high insulin levels the next day. So if it's in the afternoon, keep it decaf. If it's in the morning, feel free to add in some caffeine. Now, if you are looking for a complete breakfast option, you should pair this with my high protein overnight oats recipe. It is so good. It has been an absolute staple for me because it is so high in protein and so high in fiber to keep me so full and satisfied. So if you want to check out that recipe, you can find it with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-packed and delicious information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.